This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decisions based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check you're still subscribed to the channel, double check your notifications are on, and if you hit that like button, double check it's working properly, because these bad actors are doing everything in their power to manipulate this channel, because they don't want more people becoming aware of all the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market. Let me tell you guys something. Ripple wants to have their cake and eat it too, okay? And what they're trying to do, in my opinion, is not good for retail investors, okay? And this is just my opinion. I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell XRP. I'm just telling you that I don't think this is good for people who buy XRP on the open market. Ripple lawyer said yesterday that the injunction rather, that the judge put out that they can't sell to institutions is for sales that they already made to institutions, not for future sales to institutions. But the judge was very, very clear in the order. In order for Ripple to sell to institutions, they have to register XRP as a security. So is XRP a security or it's not a security? Ripple can't have it both ways. If XRP is not a security, then they are not allowed to sell it to institutions. Institutions have to go buy it on the open market like everybody else. But Ripple's attorney is claiming that they can sell to institutions as long as they registered as a security. So the way the judge's order works is this, and this is my analysis of it. And I did a video on this about a week ago. In order for Ripple to sell XRP directly to institutions, they have to register XRP as a security, or they have to do private placement, which is to accredited investors, either 506B or 506C, which is like part regular investors, part accredited investors. But that doesn't even matter. What matters is this. The only thing you put in private placements are securities. The only thing you put in private placements are securities. So the only way that Ripple can sell XRP directly to institutions is by acknowledging that XRP is a security and registering it as a security. So Ripple has to make a decision. Is XRP a security or it isn't a security? If they believe XRP is not a security, they cannot sell XRP directly to institutions. If they want to sell XRP directly to institutions like they did in the past, they will have to register XRP as a security. If they wanted to sell XRP in private placement to accredited investors, they have to register it like a security for the private placement offerings. These guys are always trying to figure out a way to take advantage of retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules, okay? That's what the 1%ers do all the time. They do it in the stock market with this market maker exception, where they create billions of counterfeit shares every single day, and everybody knows what they're doing, but the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI play silent. They practice willful blindness to the obvious fraud and corruption. And what Ripple is trying to do now is trying to be a security when it's time to sell to institutions, but not a security, so they don't have to fall under all these other regulatory guidelines, okay? And they can't have it both ways. The courts has ruled XRP is not a security. So if Ripple sells XRP to institutions and register it as a security, then that would be contrary to the judge's order. I don't care what their lawyer says. Okay? I don't care what their lawyer says. XRP is not a security and they can't sell to institutions, whether it's the prior sales. I'm talking about future sales. You cannot sell to institutions unless you register it as a security, and the courts has held it is not a security. So y'all can play that game if you want and stay in that gray area, letting it be a security when it benefits you and not a security when it benefits you, in order to screw over retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. What is wrong with institutions going directly to the open market and buying XRP like everybody else? And let me tell you guys one more thing. If Ripple's attorneys really believed that they could sell XRP directly to institutions, why were they trying to get the judge to lift that restriction? Okay? If the restriction only depended on the prior sales, if only the prior sales fell under the jurisdiction of the judge's order, why were they trying to get the judge to lift that injunction? Because they know it does not just apply to prior sales, okay? They know that. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Why do you think Citadel, I'm saying Citadel, look at me talking about Citadel. They stuck in my head. Why do you think Ripple is so adamant about trying to find a way to sell to institutions? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.